What's happening, people? This is Rohit here, and in this podcast episode, I'm going to discuss my new hobby, which is mixed martial arts, also known as MMA. So, in this episode, I'm going to discuss how this craze started and how I'm going about all of this and the kind of situation that I'm in right now and how I'm making use of every single thing that's given to me, and that's what this episode is going to be about. First, let me give you some background. I am super into martial arts. Like everyone who knows me knows that I'm into sports, entertainment, and martial arts. That's always been me. And I've been doing karate for over 10 years as a child. And where I'm from, karate was that time booming, and now it's MMA. But back then it was karate, and so many karate schools were there. And then I was into one of them. And for me, it was more like it instilled a sense of discipline in its own way, and then having that balance, having that self discipline, so many, and that flexibility, which it's really useful for me right now. But now that I have all of those things, I became a UFC fan back in 2019 during that time, and I still remember UFC, like it was just booming. Conor was like a huge sports icon during that time. I mean, I know other stars too, but I'm a huge fan of UFC right now. Back then at in India, you're watching, and then different time difference, so many different things are there. Anyone who follows UFC in India will understand the time difference, and being in different time zone is a big thing, right? But now that I am in the United States, I get the opportunity to go and attend ceremonial weigh-ins, press conferences, UFC fan experiences, and even blog about all of them, meeting favorite fighters. I do think this also played a role, was a small factor for me to decide that I'm going to get into MMA as well. That's definitely a role. I know that for sure. But apart from that, back of my head, I already had the MMA thing, but I couldn't start it because I was holding a lot of positions and roles on campus, and that was taking a lot of time. I was on campus for like 15, 16 hours every single day from Monday to Friday. So I did not have time at all. But then somewhere inside was a planned decision right after UFC 300. For me, it was more like I know there's a MMA gym nearby. I thought, why not go and enroll myself? Probably not the best timing because I'm graduating. It's the last month of college for me. It's like less than 3 weeks when the college is ending, and I went for my trial classes in April, and then I told that membership I can start from May 1st, and that's when I started. And I'm recording this episode in mid June, so definitely I have crossed over a month, enjoying it so far. But again, coming back to the story, probably not the best timing because I'm graduating. I don't have a job. My OPT start date is in July, and I'll be jobless. At least I cannot work as well because of the legal status. And OPT is when I can start working legally. So I'm not going to do anything, and my money is going off from my savings. So a lot of different things are happening here. I'm going to do job search, and I don't want to be a couch potato and just sit at home and focus only on that. I wanted stress relieving activity. I wanted something that I want to do for a long time. Again, it became MMA. And also, I'm so somewhere inside it's more like imaginary food budget and imaginary. I mean, when I go to New York City a lot, now I stopped that. From the last few months I'm not going because I want to save money. That money, again, the imaginary budget for New York City, imaginary budget for food, every single thing is going towards MMA. I mean, it's not cheap too, right? To go train, get equipment. I've spent over like 240 dollars on just equipment, what all I needed, gi, shin guards, gloves, and all of that. But at the same time, I know that it's worth the investment. I know that I won't regret the choice that I'm making right now. If I really wanted to, I could have done this back home itself when I was a UFC fan. But then that time gyms were less, the commute, so many different things were playing against me, and I had to rely on my parents and all of that. But since I have the financial freedom right now, I was about to say security, but unfortunately I'm not in that situation. But given that freedom, I get to use my own money and do what I really wanted to do. And since it's my own money, I know that it's worth it all. Okay, yeah, you get my point. You That worth, I know that I will be putting so much into it and all of that. So all of these factors are going into play, and then for me it felt like a big good thing because I know that what all I'm going to do, I'm going to super enjoy it. I know that for sure. I'm going to go all in, and I realize how much I actually enjoy being a beginner. You're going there, you don't know anything, jiu-jitsu, ground grappling, every single thing is new to you, and I just enjoy being a beginner. And also with job stress, it also helps me take my mind off from the job search which is happening during the day, and I go to gym like 3 to 4 hours I'm spending at gym. But again, because of commute, I'm leaving home at 5:30 and I'm coming home at 10:30, and then you have to shower. So many different things which is happening, and it's also helping me with my physical fitness, with my sleep, because earlier physical fitness was just walking, and now I'm actually doing something apart from walking, which is, for me, I won't say, oh, I'm getting more confident. That was always there because I did karate. Again, it's personality and all of that. At the same time, I'm learning something really new, something like jiu-jitsu, something like ground grappling, which is something I was not used to before, and now it's super fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm Yesterday I slept just for, yesterday my rolling session was so good in jiu-jitsu. Just to say the story, I'm super learning. I'm enjoying it. In my sleep, I'm trying to sleep. I came home at 10:30 and all that. I'm getting to bed. I had dinner and getting. I'm rolling in my head. I'm like, oh, I can do this. I can do that. Wow. I'm like, job search is not effective. Earlier there was a period where job search, because of job search, I was not able to sleep well, and I'm waking up. It's 5 o'clock. I did not sleep at all. It's light is outside, and then I had to leave home and come here. So I'm like 3 hours, less than 3 hours of sleep for the first time after moving to Jersey City. That's happening. That's how much I'm crazy about jiu-jitsu right now. And even in MMA, I'm learning full contact sparring for the first time. And my coach is saying I'm getting better. I'm improving a lot, and he's super happy about me, and he's very proud of me, and I'm proud of my coach. I mean, you need to be. And I'm also being trained by the same coach who is coaching Alex Pereira, who is currently the UFC champion. So I'm going to cruise MMA in Harrison. For me, it's more like commute. I have to take the train, walk, but overall, it's worth it. I'm going with a duffel bag and all. But starting this new hobby, having that beginner mindset, even though it might not be the best timing because of the kind of situation right now. I mean, let's look at pros and cons. Like whatever happens, I'm able to say that I did this out of my own interest, out of my own money. It's not like I'm asking others money and then I'm doing it. So that way I'm proud of it. I mean, whatever happens, depending on where the job is, I might have to move, so I might have to cut MMA training. But if I move somewhere, obviously I will go and start MMA training there. That's one thing. But I mean, touch wood, God forbid. I don't know which the right one. But if I was to go back home, go back to India, I may start MMA training there, even though it's slightly expensive because it's less gyms. I can still say that, or maybe I don't do MMA. I can still say that, hey, when I was in the US, when I was studying abroad, I used my own money and I did something like MMA out of my own interest, and that's something I feel I'll be really proud of. So in that way, I definitely am enjoying it. Again, not the best time because of job search scenario, what's happening right now, and somewhere inside, if I have to save money for rent, I will have to cut MMA. All of those factors are there. It's running at the back of my head, but I am super enjoying it. I love being a beginner once again and learning so many different things which I know I can implement in other parts of my life. The kind of things that I'm learning here, the kind of connections that I'm making, is just a wonderful circle of good sparring partners, good rolling partners, good training partners in general, and then you're learning from them. Again, the different culture, and here I never knew that here in the gym they are playing music while we are working out. So that's something very new to me. That's something which I was not used to before. And then having the mat training on the mat, so many different things which I'm getting used to, and overall I'm enjoying it. Again, it's again for self defense. All of those factors are also there. Getting to learn different aspects of the game, getting to talk about the technical aspects more, and that's something I never could do before. And now I can get more into technical aspects and appreciate ground grappling, how tough or how interesting it is, and that's something I want to get better at as well. In that way, I'm definitely very, very, very grateful that I'm getting to do something like use an opportunity like this and then make it for my own, and very grateful. And it's also about having fun with the process rather than just going grinding or trying to kill each other. So for me, in that way also, I have learned a lot of things. It's also happening unconsciously. I know that for jiu-jitsu, you should not let ego come into the play. You should leave ego at the door. That's something which I knew before itself. It's not like someone taught me and all. So in that way, it's more like having the beginner mindset and willing to learn rather than bringing ego and be like, oh, he beat me, I have to beat him, or not trying to kill each other. I like to go light sparring. I'm like, why should we try to kill each other? We're not getting paid. Like, what is the point of it? So in that way, I'm learning so many different hidden curriculum topics which is actually not talked about. So in that way, I'm very, very, very grateful, and so many different new things that I'm learning. And that's something I know that I'm going to be proud of at the end of the day, when I get to say that, hey, even though I started in my last month of college, even after on the day of graduation, after my graduation, I went to the gym. And staying consistency, that's something I feel I have been good at. I'm like, what all I want to do 4 days means I'll go 4 days continuously. All number of classes in that day I'll go and attend. Other days are for recovery, rest and recover. So in that way, I'm like staying consistent. Even after every single event, there have been so many days. Even in vlogs I have covered, I would walk from campus to the gym. It's like nearly a mile, and then walk back to the event on campus and get things done. It's like if I really want something, obviously I'll have to go and fight for it, right? So in that way, I'm like I'm fighting outside gym as well in that way. So I feel I'm very grateful. I'm very proud of how that's going. And now that college is done, the only thing which is happening right now in my life is job search and MMA. So that's something which is keeping me occupied, keeping me physically active, and that's something I'm thinking about apart from job search, like jiu-jitsu moves. And very grateful. It's all about having fun, enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, and that's more important for me. That I get to say, hey, in my 20s, I did something like MMA, and that's something I'm definitely proud of. Thank you all for watching. See you all in another one. Till then, bye from me.